Howdy folks, this is Checkers, and this is Star Citizen. It's been a while since I've flirted with Star Citizen, so I thought we might give it a whirl. It's probably changed quite a bit since I played it to any greater degree, and I'm really interested to see how things have changed and see if I can figure out anything at all. So let's load up here into the Stanton system. I took out a loading screen. And then we woke up. Cat's on board. All right, well, we can't beat that. Took me a while to just kind of look at things and then to figure out how to get out of the bed. I could figure out how to lie down again, but either pressing or holding the Y key, I think eventually got me out of the bed. There are some things you really need to know. I think by default the F key does the sort of thought interactions, which are the carry, inspect things. We'll do that here. I've remapped it to somewhere on my mouse, but we can look at an object and press this interaction key. Now we can carry it. From here we can place it, so we can do a little cleaning up around my Easy Hab, which is what I think these apartments are called. And you just sort of see the ghost image and click where you want it, and there you go. We'll grab the book and do the same thing. And we can even inspect it, but we'll just place the book here. I knocked it off the bookshelf the other day. So things pretty much stay where they're left. I think that's where I knocked it down from. I'm gonna turn the volume down here just a bit. Hopefully. There we go. Get that tone down just a little bit. Inspecting the biohazard container, because why not? And then we can place that back. And check out this room here is our bathroom. I think that right below the mirror there is a little shelf that slides out to become a toilet, or maybe it's the back wall there. Kind of neat little detail in the Easy Hab here. Some clothing. Our bed, the cat's on board sign, which just makes me infinitely happy. And we've got our exit door and our cleaning supplies, I guess, over there. Using the thought interaction, we can open the door. It's kind of intuitive once you get the hang of it. It's really important. I think by default it's your F key. Since I remap things, I occasionally lose the key, and that becomes more of an issue for me, but that's kind of a personal thing. Since I remap all over the place, being left-handed, and well, you know, and my memory is shot. So there's that. So this is our apartment building, or our Easy Hab building. And some advertisements. And there we can look down over the city. That statue, I think, is going to matter a little bit later. Unlike most of my videos, I'm recording this one after the fact. I was playing around with the game when I wasn't feeling quite so well. And not that I'm doing overwhelmingly better now, but better enough that I can follow along with the video and talk about it as we go. I'm just sort of curious if we can go back into our apartment, our Easy Hab, and at the moment we can. Now, you'll log into the game later and log into different Easy Habs. You don't seem to log into one persistent one at the moment. But the interior does seem to be. Checking out our Moby Glass wrist computer, looking at things, our equipment manager. I don't really know much about it. I am not an expert in Star Citizen in any way, shape, or form. Hopefully we'll change that as time goes by. We have some journal entries there. And updated contact manager. It's F1 by default, I believe. Brings up your main mobiGlas window. And we don't have a vehicle sort of assigned at the moment, so we don't have anything there. We have a contract manager, different jobs we could take. And I was sort of thinking about doing that when I started playing, just maybe see if I could go do something simple. But I changed my mind, so I will speed through this a bit. One thing I will say is there are quite a number of contracts to take, even though this is quite sped up at the moment. And they do seem to be of a similar nature, at least to what I have access to. Now remember, I've just started. I haven't met any of the NPC quest givers or anything like that. This is a brand new character, just pretty much waking up for the second time, and the first time not even having left his easy hab. So, and I will constantly hit escape to try and close things, and it's not the way to do it. All right. And this is the map, but the map's not showing me anything, and that's probably due to some lack of information that I have, so I won't hold it against anything. There's back to the window. And a big Benny's machine. Truth and exploration. This just seems to be another wing of this Easy Hab structure, but I did not know that. So here we've got an elevator, and we're going to use that thought interaction key again to call the elevator. There we go. And go to the ground floor. So things work pretty much the way you would expect them to in the real world. You don't just click on the elevator doors, you press the elevator buttons. And that's not going to be true in all cases, but many cases. And just have a little chat with this fella. And I didn't think it worked at first, but then I realized, oh yeah, look at there. We've got make a delivery, make a pickup, how's it going?
That's fine. It's not like this is a really exciting job or anything. They ain't making spectrum shows about what I do.
Oh well. And we'll say goodbye.
That's all.
I believe those Kovaleks are, I'm not quite sure if that was the word, it went by pretty quick, but those boxes that we passed back there were where you drop off certain items for that one contract company. So now we're out in the world. And I don't believe I've ever been here before, so this is entirely new to me. I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing. But it does appear that the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is going on. And map's still not helping me. Again, I don't know if that's something I just don't know, or maybe it's just not working. Lighting is interesting. I will say that from a lighting designer's standpoint. There is lots of it and many colors, and I approve. They do have sort of a haze effect going so that we can see some of the light in the air, which is also a good choice. Dumpers Depot, I think that's where you take scrap and salvage. Astro Armada, this is where you would go to buy a ship. You can now buy ships with in-game currency. So you can do jobs, earn money, and then buy a ship in-game. And that, I believe, is the Anvil Hawk. on display there. We're looking at the back end of it. It's facing the wall. It is a bounty hunting ship. I believe interdiction might be what they call its job. And so you use a kiosk. You just use that interaction key and use, and it turns on, and then you're using the screen there, which is a little small for me to read on the editor, so I can't really tell you what the prices are. Sorry about that. But you might be able to see them better yourselves. That would be a ship, but we're just seeing the engine rings for some reason. It didn't load the entire way. I think that said P-52 Merlin, 300i there by Origin. 600i, which is, I think, their bigger sort of touring class ship. And me trying to close it again with the escape key, but that's not how you do it. So live and learn. I really kind of dig the whole live and learn thing, though. I find Star Citizen very exciting for me personally because I have no idea what's going on, and that is just so exciting. I like having to learn things. What we are going to do now is come into key bindings and try and figure out how to close the chat. It's usually the first thing I do in anything like an MMO. I thought it might be quaint to leave it up for a little while, but decided that it really wasn't. And now we are free and clear to navigate without the chat going on the left-hand side there. Really, the whole purpose of this was for me to explore the game and try to figure out how to get around, how to do things, how to find things. This is not helping me, by the way. But I recorded it in case it might be fun. And then I realized, you know what? It might be a decent video because it's pretty well honest. I'm not, trying to hide the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing. And we'll get a general idea of how someone who pretty much has no idea would get around in Star Citizen. This is the persistent universe, as they're calling it. So this is online. You can play with your friends. I'm not sure how many people per instance or how you even meet up with someone, but it is an online thing. And they now have the ability, and they've had it for a while. It's not like super new or anything, but to multi-crew ships, so you can fly in the same ship, have a pilot and gunners and navigators and such the like. Taking a look at the advertising there, the holographic advertising, really dig it. Wandering into the admin building for ArcCorp, I think. And looking at this, realizing, wow, there is nothing that I want to do in here. I'm sort of looking for the starport because I figure maybe if we can find a ship, we can go take a job or something, because I'm still on that. But something else is going to distract me a little way through this. Now, we saw someone running around there, and occasionally I get the bright idea of following people who run, as if they might know what they're doing, because I don't. And then sometimes I run and realize that someone could be doing the same to me, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so there's that. I could be following someone just as clueless as me. Like the sliding doors there. I mean, it's got a really cool vibe to it, just wandering around here, sort of somewhere between Blade Runner and God, what's the other one I'm thinking of? I can't recall offhand. Insert futuristic thing here. So now I've keyed onto the idea that, hey, these purple things might actually be leading me somewhere. Go graphic design and level design. So we found our way to a tram, which will be arriving in, what does that say, 30-something seconds? And I just noticed that that says, this way to the expo. So huzzah, we're going to the expo. Sort of like a futuristic car show for spaceships. And I believe today's focus is Aegis. And they are a military manufacturer with civilian offerings. So we'll go check that out. And the tram is here. Right on. Our first train ride. Sort of, space train. I think the space train flies, so, you know. It's got theoretical tracks. I actually try to look, but I can't quite see. I think it's just flying free. I think that might also be the other person who was running around. So either we've both been funneled to the same place, or she was looking for it and I just sort of stumbled in here. Either way, we're flying through the city on a tram. Back in the 80s and 90s, I played Chris Roberts' games when he was working for Origin, so the Wing Commander series. And they always had this idea to make you a part of the world, a part of the universe, a part of the game. And I feel like Star Citizen is really trying to carry that idea forward. And it's pretty awesome. Okay, so our tram is arriving. And here we are at the expo. So I figure, you know, maybe we need tickets to go to the expo. But the ticket guy is fascinated by that shiny bracket or brace on the wall and does not care that we are here. And he wouldn't share whatever made him so fascinated in that shiny bracket. You do you, guy. You do you. All right. And we're here. That is, I think, an M50? And I think that's Origin, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Kind of just riffing it here. Got some souvenirs from the expo there, and we're about to find out something really cool about that by watching the person who was running in front of us, who sort of mystically got into the purple shirt. So now we've, of course, got to check out the purple shirt, use our little thought thing there. We could buy it, or we could just try it on. I didn't actually notice the you could buy it thing, or I'd have bought it. There we go, trying out our purple shirt. Okay, I did make a character. Don't read too much into how the character looks. I'm not any good with character editors, so he's the guy I built after about 5 minutes of goofing around with the editor and realizing I'd rather be playing the game than goofing around with the editor. Okay, no, this guy's not going to sell us tickets either, and we can't hack his computer, so there's that. I dig the fact that you can try on the shirts and just purchase them. That is pretty epic. Somehow we've gotten our chat back. Oh well, can't take me anywhere. The hammerhead is actually on display in here. We'll get to take a look at it. It's smaller than I thought it would be. It's a big old military gunship with big old turrets on the sides of its hammerhead. Alright. That is a constellation that is just showing over there on the screen. That changed. RSI. Okay, so now I remember how to use an elevator. We'll call the car. And we'll start out on, I guess, the first floor. We're on day 6, so yeah, I'm late getting to the expo, but on the plus side, I got to the expo. I'm kind of excited that I was able to log into the game with pretty much zero knowledge of anything other than the interact key. My map doesn't function, and I still got to the expo. That's, I think, just as much a testimony to the, like I said, the graphic design and level design as it is to any of my skill. But, right. No, don't want any of this. I gotta remember how to close that. There we go, and I remembered how to turn the chat off. There is the expo. That big thing in the background is a ship. Alright. Now I'm running, because we've got to run. I think these are sabers. up here. No, there's a Saber, maybe. No, or Gladius. That's a Gladius, I think. Yeah. And you can rent them for 24 hours for free. So we're going to do that, but not with one of those. That is, I think, the Reclaimer. You can rent that big old beast and fly it around too. Those things on the front right there, those are clamps. You know, like the gangster robot in Futurama? Clamps! Those are clamps. That's a salvage ship. I think you can use it to grip and tear. These are Vanguards. I'm looking for the Warden. That's a hoplite. It'll, of course, be the last one I get to. This is the Sentinel. And Harbinger, and finally the Warden. I know the Warden kind of reminds me of a P-38 Lightning. So here we go. We're looking at how to rent. It gives us a description of the ship, and I'm realizing that it's just free. And you know, maybe I should really do that. There we go. We've rented a Vanguard Warden for 24 hours. Now, of course, we have to figure out what to go do with our Vanguard Warden for 24 hours. And I was kind of hoping that there would just be sort of a back exit that would let us go fly, but no such luck. This thing blows me away, though. Look at the size of this thing. Those landing gear. Slash thrusters. Slash awesome. And you're like running and still haven't completed the length of it. So I'm kind of hoping that's the back door to fly. Of course, that hope will not come to fruition, but I can still dream. I think I was about to fire up my map there and realized that it didn't do things. Or I'm looking for something. I'm not sure what. Those were the contracts. Vehicle loadout. Okay, so I've figured out that I can find the Warden in the ship display there. And you can select your ship. Still can't figure out how to exit the game, though. Or the Moby Glass. Give me a year or two, I'll figure it out. Okay, door doesn't work. Well, there's that. So I think that display of the ship was, you could select the guns, like if you had multiple things in storage, you could select its loadout. Then when you called the ship up, it would be ready to go in the configuration that you had selected. Just a giant ship. And these are sabers. What is that, a Saber Comet, I think it said? And the Saber. I think there are 3 versions, and one of them looks nothing like the others. That thing is so huge. Okay, so now my goal is to try and make the Warden fly. This could get interesting, and more than a little messy. Hey, there's someone else who got a shirt. I need to go back there and get a shirt. I think it's got a few more days left. I think the day after this day is Drake. So for all your pirate needs and all your, you know, totally not pirate needs, there's Drake. So this is the second floor. I thought we'd take a look. That is the stealth bomber. I don't remember what it's called. In the background there is the Hammerhead. The Aegis Eclipse. That's the stealth bomber. And there is the Hammerhead. That is Redeemer, I think. A bomber over there on the left. And this is the Hammerhead with those big old turrets that extend out, I believe. And those are Avengers, I think, on the right-hand side. Those, I think, are Avengers. Various classes of Avengers. And I totally think about exploring them until I realize I could be flying the Vanguard Warden if I could figure out how to go fly the Vanguard Warden. And so we're going to go run the other way now. But still, just kind of epic that they have this show in the game. I mean, they've done this sort of format of this show for years, but I think this is the first time you could actually, like, go visit it yourself in game. Not 100% sure. I have a funny relationship with in-development games, in that if I know there's a lot of time to go, I don't try and maintain pinpoint accuracy, because one, things change so much so often that I have enough trouble remembering the right things, let alone things that can change. But also I get excited. I want to do things, I want to play, and when they're not quite in condition for that, then I just get disappointed. But I'm getting the feeling that Star Citizen is more than enough in a condition for me to play. Now, I don't watch other folks' videos. I don't, like I said, I don't keep my finger on the pulse of this. At least I haven't been until recently. I have a feeling I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to this, because I think I can play, you know. I think I can explore and find things and do things and have fun. And I'm kind of thinking I might like to share that with everybody, because it's pretty cool. Alright, so we've just learned that we can now go to the starport. We just need another tram. And we've got about 30 seconds to wait. Star Citizen was and remains a huge promise, and in a lot of ways a huge risk for everyone, even folks who don't have a whole lot of money and just want to kind of have faith in it. We've had our faith shaken numerous times in the games industry, but I get a good vibe, I have a good feeling about Star Citizen. I have never been one of the detractors, the naysayers. I think this has a good chance to be exactly what it says on the box. This is something that is not done much anymore. Something that's literally trying to push the very edges of game development. Too often now, people are only interested in the sure thing. They're not going to put money into what is essentially R&D, which means that games got to a certain point and then, in a lot of ways, stagnated. And Star Citizen has always been something looking to kick down the walls of possibility, to do something outside of what is normal. And in a lot of ways, the Wing Commander series was that back in the day, but the technology was not very advanced, so the borders were a lot closer. This is stretching, but it's stretching, as far as I can see, pretty damn successfully. And I am really, really excited to see where it goes. And honestly, really, really excited to explore it even now. So there's a big part of me that is like, okay, I want to do the voiceover for this video so I can show you guys what I saw. And another part of me that wants to just get it done so I can get back in there and explore more things. And I think that's really awesome. When I feel that way, I know that we've got something special going on here. All right, we've made our tram ride, and we are now looking for that spaceport. And things are going to go really well until they don't. And we're going to find that I hit one of my own knowledge walls, and we're going to kick that sucker right on down. Alright, so this is not where we need to be. What we need is a kiosk to summon our ship. And I'm not entirely sure where I find the kiosk, but I know the kiosk exists. Sort of like the one where we were looking at the dealer to buy a ship, but this one's going to summon it up for us. So I figured it would be on the near side of customs, but apparently it's on the far side of customs. So we go through, and that is what we're looking for right there, the ship retrieval console. Touch to begin. We grab our Vanguard Warden and retrieve. Please wait while your vehicle is being delivered to the platform. Your ship will be waiting at Hangar 6. Thank you for visiting. Alright, so now we have to get to Hangar 6. And okay, so we'll go this way. And hangar elevators. Cool. Alright. Now all we need to do is... Okay, it's about now that I realize that the Warden is actually showing up as a waypoint on the AR glass there. So we call the elevator. I love the little heart rate display. Oh, if it were only true. If my heart rate really did that, I probably wouldn't black out and fall down and forget things. Heavy sigh. Anyway. Alright, into the elevator we go. And Hangar 6. Alright. Check out the ads in the elevator while we go. And check them out one more time. There we go. And out into the steam and haze we go. Nice touch. Nice environmental touch. Look at the size of that hangar. See those things up at the top there that I'm kind of ignoring right now? Those are hangar doors. They're going to become a problem. But first, let's take a look at the boat. Okay, so we've got swing wings here that are folded in. That's the way we're going to go in. And it's about now that I go, oh yeah, let's take a look at the boat. It's got some missiles there. And I don't know what size things are. I think that's a size 4 gun, though. The Gatling gun on the bottom, and maybe size 2, the 4 barrels sticking out above that. I'm kind of just learning the sizes and things right now. More missiles. That looks like some kind of pylon for something, but... There's our 2 more missiles. We can pretty much walk right under the boat, which is awesome. And... there's our swing wing folded in. Take a look at the engines. Nice shields there. Maybe to protect from the heat signatures. And now we're going to figure out the back door, which I don't realize yet, but I'm standing way too close to. So I need to back away a little bit. First I'm going to look and see if there's another way in, and then remember that there probably isn't. And eventually, don't worry, I will figure it out. Just takes time. There we go. Once it orange highlights, I know. Now I've realized that I got too close and then backed out, and that's why, because it extends that ramp. Okay, we can't quite open this door until we close this other one, at least so it seems. So, I'm going to try and figure that out. Give me a second. We're exploring. Okay, so we've got it. Now it's closed. We can actually walk on it and access. There's a panel back there. We can open that. And that would let us access our quantum drive, I believe the door said. So, cool. You know, my belief in their design is that they want you to be able to do the things you could see on Star Wars. So when you see them repairing the Millennium Falcon on the fly in Star Wars, they want you to be able to do that. Okay, so this is like crew quarters. We've got some lighting bug going on there. We can close this door. So this is the, I think that's food preparation kind of on the left there. There's a munitions locker, a gun locker. And some other kind of storage here. It looks like it's got like a hanger rod there, maybe for armor or clothes. A bathroom. And there's the toilet that comes out of the wall. Now I'm going to spend some time trying to close that without closing the door, but only ever managing to close the door. So, well, now that the convenience is out, it's out. And give me a few seconds, then I'll realize, you know what we could be doing is flying the spaceship. And here is, what is that? I couldn't quite read it. Some kind of station. Engineering station, maybe? And there's the power on button. We found that.
Aegis combat assist.
So that looks like maybe power. I'm going to say the left side of that triangle looked like munitions or guns.
Aegis combat assist activated.
I don't kind of hold still. Maybe the bottom is engines. Maybe the left is system, or the right is systems. But I'm just guessing. And trying to figure out now how to walk away from this thing. And being quite unsuccessful at it. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how I got off this thing. I think I might have hit the Y key or held the Y key down. So we can open this, leads into the cockpit. But, and I do remember this staircase is like a door to another component section. So now we open door on the staircase and we have access. I can't remember what, I guess radar? Is that what I'm seeing on the left there? It's sort of a radar and like an arrow pointing down. So we've got, I don't know what this one is. We've got a little component section there. And a shield generator and power plant beyond that. And we've got this. Not quite sure what those are. Although something in my head is saying cooler. Maybe I saw it and just remember. I don't know. So here's our pilot seat. Awesome. For some reason, I can't quite figure out how to get into it. And then I do. I think it's a lot of the thought interaction thing is positional. You need to be in the right position to do the thing. Well, I don't think. I know that. We couldn't open the door in the back until we were in the right place. We couldn't get in the seat. So if you're having trouble with something, it may be the position you're standing in. Now I'm trying to find the power button. So power on, which does not help us fly for some reason.
Systems green.
But I'll have to turn it off and go to flight ready before I figure that out. And, you know, I haven't watched tutorials. I'm just riffing on this, so as I'm playing. So, again, I'm no expert. If you're looking for expert tutorials, you may have to wait a while if you want to see them from me. I'm not saying I won't get there. But right now, this is, you know, just me pounding on shiny things to see what happens. And having a whole lot of fun doing it. We're going to go into key binding here and try and figure out how things are assigned. And I'm going to reassign things in a more left-handed friendly way, because what I just realized is the numeric keypad there was dealing with shield assignment, and those are the keys I prefer to use for movement. What I haven't figured out yet is that for some reason whenever I open this, it's not scrolled all the way up to the top, so there are more flight commands above what we see. But eventually I'll get there. Maybe. I know I do eventually, I just don't know if it's, I have to close it up and reopen it before I figure it out. Let me take a look, I might speed through this. Alright, so I've sped through it about, well, at least as fast as the editor that I use will allow me to do it. So, if you want to sort of get an idea of how I do it. If you really, really want to see it, you can slow things down on YouTube. The bottom right there, the little gear symbol on the video, click on that and you can change the playback speed. You can slow it down pretty far. You can actually speed it up even if you would prefer I go faster. Though I might sound as if I'd imbibed some helium. Yeah, I can't remember what I was actually looking for. Maybe even the way to take off, but I do know I want to shift around the movement keys from WAS and D. Basically, we're going to swap WAS and D and the numeric keypad for flight. And just a little bit more to go, and then we can go back to goofing off with our spaceship, our rented spaceship, rented from a sci-fi expo, a car show, a future car show for spaceships. I dig that. I really do. I remember going to car shows when I was a kid and seeing that they would have maps in the car and wondering how on earth that was ever going to happen. This is the 1970s, so anyway. All right, back in our starship, we have keys more or less mostly assigned, and there's lots of shiny things to look at. Still haven't figured out how to fly. I know the space bar, which I've now moved, I think, to the numeric keypad plus, should be able to take us off. And although the highlight for power on and flight ready and such is over on the left there, I don't really know what I'm mousing over that's getting me to that. It doesn't necessarily always seem consistent. Now remember, Star Citizen is still in its alpha phase. Sure, it's been doing this for years and years and years, but when you want to make something that pushes the boundaries this far, it's what it's going to take. You know? I have no problem with it taking forever, especially considering we can get in a spaceship and fly. I have more problem with games that want to be safe and not try something new than I do with games that have bugs but are pushing the boundaries. So now I've figured out how to fly. I'm in the air. There's a problem. There's a roof. I haven't figured out how to deal with the roof yet. But I did figure out how to land, so on the plus side, that is my first persistent universe takeoff and landing. Huzzah! Thank you, music. I am just as happy as the ghost musicians are. That's still not going to get us up. What I'm looking for now is a radio, because I realize we probably have to contact the tower and tell them that we want clearance to take off. But I don't know how to do that. And somewhere in the back of my head is a memory of somebody doing this inside a spaceship with one of their MFDs, the multifunction displays, but I don't know if that's changed, or maybe it's something that is in a different ship but not this one. But what I need to do is get back into the Mobiglass thing here, and can't quite remember how long that's going to take me to figure out. But you know what? I haven't shut up yet, so I'm pretty sure I can talk us through the entire thing. So if you were looking for a video with just a lot of pretty pictures and no voiceover, sorry, this is definitely not the right one. But I'm sure those exist somewhere too, so there's that. Alright, I swear something there, I think that upper panel on the right there that's on the armrest, so the one more forward, I think it actually says comms. And maybe one day you will be able to do this, you know, with the interaction key. But at the moment, it's still in the Mobiglass, and I still haven't figured it out. And I'm not sure what the press to unlock is, but I don't want to press it since I don't know what it does. Open exterior, I figured just opens the back door, which probably not something you really want to do anyway, since I'm pretty sure boarding and stealing ships is a thing you can do. Like, if you pledged for a ship in Star Citizen, I don't think someone can permanently steal it from you. But the rental spaceship, not so sure about. And, you know, besides, I mean, if you've seen Aliens, you know you don't leave the back door open. You just don't. Alright, well, we can move forward, we can move back, we can move left, we can move right. We just still cannot make the ship go. All right, so I'm going to cut our pane here and splice in the other section where I've actually figured it out. So hang on. Okay, so we're going to start over from the kiosk here. We're going to call up a ship. I actually had to leave the game and figure out how to access the radio. I did not figure it out while I was playing. So now we're at Hangar 4, and I'll speed us up to getting to the ship. Okay, so video is in high gear as we make our way back to the elevator, and back now to Hangar 4. And out into the wonderful environmental steam, and then gaze up at our nemesis, the hangar doors. And there's a fella just standing there, because that's his job. And pop open the back door, get the loading ramp out, climb right on, and once again try and figure out how to close it. There we go. And into the crew cabin, or the crew compartment, close the door, into the cockpit, close the door, and then back into the pilot's seat. All right, now I think we've got a good chance at getting out of the building. Once we get out of the building, not entirely sure what to do with myself, but we can fly. So let's go to flight ready.
Aegis combat assist activated.
Excellent.
Systems green.
Okay, so now we need our chat panel on our mobiGlass here, and we go to contacts and Area 18 landing services, and we just contact them. That's pretty much it. We just clicked on them and they said you are clear to launch, and they are hopefully opening those upper hangar doors, because we're going up now, but our wide old body isn't quite able to get through the narrow door opening yet. So I got a little impatient there, but, and this is important, we are now outside the structure. We're actually flying in like the air. And yeah, we're in the air. There's the city out there. Still trying to work out. I actually have a kind of a flight controller thing. I don't have it set up, so this is just mouse and keyboard. My desk is really, really, really tiny. I mean, however tiny you're imagining it, it's probably half of that. It's just wide enough for a keyboard and a mouse pad, so I've got to try and figure out how I'm ever going to get any kind of flight controller to fit anywhere for any reason. I haven't worked that out yet. So mouse and keyboard for now, and we ascend. We are actually flying our ship here in Star Citizen. Though from the looks of our icon with in the upper left there, our wings are not extended. We were just a little too wide to get through that door anyway. And I'm pretty sure I haven't retracted the landing gear because, yeah, first time and all. But hey. Okay. I can't read what that says. I think it says that our weapons are now active. We're out of the pacified zone. And we can almost, there we go, see the stars and fire our guns. Quite exciting. At least for me, I'm really digging this. I don't know, maybe it's sort of foolish to make a video all about, and there's the console. Don't know what it was showing us, but there it was. Yeah. Space. We did it. It took going out and learning how to use a radio, but we did it. And there we are. And for just a little while, I kind of contemplated, hey, you know what? Maybe we should do like a delivery mission or something. But I really wanted to check out this Vanguard Warden, and I remember that it actually has no cargo carrying capability. I think you can kind of just pick up a box and drop it anywhere, but if you want to safely store it, you have to have kind of a landing, or what do they call it, a cargo grid. And it sort of locks down to that so that when you go into the quantum drive, which is sort of their warp drive, it doesn't fly about the cabin and dismantle itself, the ship, or you. Alright, so taking a look at the contract manager and realizing, well, don't really know much about maintenance, not sure how much I could fix anything, and probably can't deliver an item, or at least I may not be able to, I'm not sure, and don't really know how good of a mercenary I'd be since I just vaguely know how to fly, let alone how to fire the weapons or, select which ones I want to fly. Not that any of this bothers me. Again, I enjoy things that I have to learn to do. So I think it's time to look for the landing. Well, there's me trying to close it with escape again. Now we need to call back down and try and land. I'm looking on the map to see if I can figure out how to land, but I really have not figured the map thing out yet. So, well, we are going to turn ourselves around and sort of point at the planet. I've been trying to access the landing services, but I'm guessing we're just a little too far away. So now I've got to figure out which one of any of the symbols on the ground there is the landing thing. Now, that thing looks like a big old structure, and if I were going to hazard a guess, it sort of looks like what I think a futuristic airport might look like. And it is a very distinguishing feature, but I'm not entirely sure. So I kind of look around a bit, but then we sort of do go off in that direction. And it does actually turn out to be the spaceport. I've never seen it from above, but I think we're still too far above to activate the landing services channel. So we'll just close that right on up and point our nose right on down and see how it ends up working out. Well, we're back in the Armistice zone, or the pacification zone, or whatever it is, and still no... Wait, there it is. Area 18 landing services. Excellent. Come on.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Yeah, that's going to create a whole new problem. Even if I do figure out how to close this without the escape key, not entirely sure what it's trying to point me at. I see many, many little highlighted objects and things, but which one is mine, I don't know. So we're going to jet on closer and see if I can figure it out, and I am not going to figure it out right away. As a matter of fact, we are going to try and land in some wrong places, but that's the fun of learning and doing. And I gotta admit, I had a lot of fun even not knowing the right things to do. So, and plus, you just gotta admire the view. It's beautiful, it's audacious, I love it. Alright, I'm excited. And there, on the left, in the window, you can see one of those big reclaimers, I think it is. The one from the Expo, the big giant one with the big giant clamps and the big giant landing gear thrusters and things, and just amazing. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. There are a bunch of big ships, and my target ID skills are not awesome at the moment. I have much to learn, which is very exciting. Yeah, no idea where they want us to park. I even sort of know, because this is after the fact as I'm doing the voiceover, I know where it's going to be, and I still can't quite see it. Though, my editing screen, like I said, is teeny tiny. Yeah. Map is not helping me. It is not going to show me things. But I will get one more chance to learn to try and close it without the escape key, and to fail. Alright, let's try landing services again and see if they are going to be of any help. That request has already been processed. I didn't understand him the first time he said that. I had to ask him a second time, and he still didn't help any more than that. So, yeah, there's that. Still not the way out. I'll learn. Give me time. Alright, so, well, there's a landing position, but it doesn't appear to be ours. See, there's a lighter, super light blue / white one. That's ours. But I'm having trouble identifying which one of the myriad ones is mine. Since I don't recognize any of these symbols, green, red, whatever, I just don't know where to go or what to do. I mean, green is kind of the thing I would think, go to green, right? Green is go. That's, I think, almost universal for driving, right? Green light is go. But yeah, no, green light is something completely different. I don't know if maybe that's just a non-hostile ship or what, but... So anyway, I decide, well, what if I land here? Will that help? Then I realize, not entirely sure if my landing gear are up or down. I should try and figure that out. Now I have to figure out where you would hide that. So, not there. There we go. Under movement. N. Okay. So, now I've managed to put the landing gear up, not down. So yes, we were flying around with our landing gear down. Now we've deployed them correctly.
Landing complete.
Yeah, we're not really where we're supposed to be. I'm guessing we're supposed to be the center of that X. So, okay, we're gonna nudge forward. Try and land in the X. Yeah, but it's still not the right place. Okay, so we still have an issue. Still have to go find our landing space, not just a landing space. Actually don't know what would happen if we just left it there. But there, you can kind of see the one with the wrench on it. Not sure what the wrench means. But it's a different color than all the other ones. And I'm trying to look at it. And, of course, the spaceship is wanting to go where I'm looking. So, we'll get there. We'll get there. Give us a minute. Okay, so we kind of drift to the side a little bit. We need to drift a little bit more. A little bit more. Kind of try and center in the hangar there.
Landing complete.
Look at that.
Landing complete.
We have taken off from Area 18. We have landed at Area 18. We have even managed to turn the ship off. I mean, for somebody who really knows how to play the game, I'm sure it's mundane and, you know, so easy as to be forgettable, and this is entirely meaningless. For me, though, having, you know, learning it essentially for the very first time, again, this was an exciting little excursion, and that's why I wanted to make a video of it and share it. It was an intense learning experience. Not super difficult or hard or challenging, but fun. And it's a good looking ship. I really dig it. And yeah, that was our excursion in Star Citizen. And even a little trip to, what was it, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? And we managed to rent this, what is it, Vanguard Warden? And after some fascinating attempts, learned not just to lift it off, but to actually even have them open the door so we could get out. Check out this landing gear. There's a kind of a orange glow right there on the tracks I'm trying to figure out. And yeah, that was fun. I can't wait to play around some more. It's the free fly time, so you can, I guess you can Maybe you just free fly the ones that are on display? I'm not entirely sure. But we got to rent this one for free. I think it's for 24 hours, so that was fun. I want to say thank you so much for sharing that with me. I hope you found the video entertaining, if not overwhelmingly informative or expert in handling. And yeah, I would like to invite you to like and share if you so desire, if you have somebody who's interested or you think they might be interested in Star Citizen. Most of all, though, I would like to ask you to please, please take care.